guys, it's January the 24th, 2024, and today got a short video for you guys. I have just been really busy all day today. I'm sorry this video is getting up so late. I had to get my kids from school, had some other things I had to do this morning, and I've been on the phone talking with one of the subscribers this afternoon. I wanted to go ahead and talk with him. We're going to be doing an interview probably on Monday coming up, and I just wanted to talk with him for a little while and just kind of discuss what we're going to talk about and all that kind of stuff before the interview. So be on the lookout for that. That's coming up this Monday, and that's going to be with one of the subscribers. His name is David, and he's in the comments all the time. I'm sure you guys have seen him in there before, but I'm going to interview him on Monday. And while I'm on the topic, I know I keep talking about this, but I want to make sure for anybody that is new to the channel, tomorrow I've got an interview with my mom. We're going to see how that all plays out. I'm sure it's probably going to be broken up into a couple of different shows because I'm just going to interview her for as long as I feel like it's still a good show. I don't want to just cut it off. I'm just going to let her talk. I've got a bunch of questions that I'm going to talk to her about. If any of you guys have any questions that you would like to see me ask her, now's the time. Please let me know in the comment section for this video today or either tomorrow morning. You could message me through the night, but just please let me know what you would like to see me ask her, and depending on what it is, most likely they'll all ask her whatever questions you guys have that you would like to know. There might be some really interesting questions that you guys have that you would like to hear an answer to that I might not even think of. So I'd like to hear if there's anything that you guys would like to know about or whatever. And like I said, I'd be more than happy to discuss that with her. Also on Friday, I've got an interview with my buddy Sammy. Same thing there. If there's anything that you guys would like to hear me talk about with him, feel free to ask. Like I said, Sammy was a drinker for a very long time, no longer drinks, and he quit a couple of years ago. So if you'd like to hear anything about, like what he did to stop drinking or whatever it is, feel free to ask, and I'll ask him. And the only thing that he can say is I don't want to answer it or whatever. But I'll go over these questions with my mom and with Sammy before the interview. And the same thing goes with David. That's going to be coming up on next Monday. If there's anything that you'd like to see me ask him, feel free asking the questions. I'm sure David's going to be in the comment section as well. So I'm sure if there's something that he's not comfortable with answering, I'm sure he'll say or whatever. So those 3 interviews are coming up. These should be very interesting. I'm really looking forward to all 3 of these interviews. I think we're going to get a wide gamut of experiences from all different angles. Like I said, my mom's going to talk about, her growing up. Her father was an alcoholic, her grandfather was an alcoholic. So we're going to hear what it was like for her growing up as a child, being in a household with an alcoholic, and then, having me, and then, getting into my teenage years and my using, and what her experience was like with that, and moving on into my adulthood and what she noticed and saw through all the years of my abuse with alcohol. And then on top of them, we're going to move into talking with Sammy and hearing his side of it all, and, where he went in his life, and then moving on to him quitting and what that experience has been like. And then, like I said, speaking with David, hearing what he has to say, his experience with alcohol, what made him stop, how he stopped. So I just think it's going to be very interesting. And like I said, just a wide angle of perspectives. Because like I've said before, it doesn't just hurt us. It hurts other people, and I really want to hear what everybody's got to say. when I was on the phone with David today, David brought up a really good point and asked me if my wife would ever be interested in doing an interview on here. And I've been talking with her a lot about that lately, and I might be able to get her on. I'm sure that interview would be rather emotional. There would be a lot of stones that haven't been turned over for quite some time that, might get brought up. But I think it'd be really neat to have her on, just to hear her side of it, let you guys hear her side of it. But, I'm still working on that, and I'm going to talk to her again tonight and see if she might be interested in it, because I don't want to just make this channel about me just sitting here just talking with you guys all the time. I really want to expand this and just give people an opportunity to see it from all different angles, like I said, and especially from the spouse of someone that drank like I did, hear what she's got to say about it. But I'll let you guys know how that all turns out, but I'm going to talk to her again tonight. Before we move into today's topic, just wanted to jump in here and do a couple of movie suggestions and a podcast suggestion, and then I'm going to talk about today's topic. So, Cheryl Ann recommended Pig by Nicolas Cage. I've seen that movie, and that is a very interesting movie, and it's a very different role for Nicolas Cage. I've never seen him play a role like that before. It's not his normal role that he plays. It's totally different. I'm not going to give away the plot, but it has to do with a gentleman that has a pig that he uses for truffle hunting, and that's pretty much all I'm going to go into with that. But very interesting movie. The next one is Dog with Channing Tatum. I've never seen that movie before. I'm not sure where that one's streaming at, but she said it was these two movies were her favorite movies of last year. And then we have Shane Reynolds 4276. He recommended River's Edge and Blue Velvet. I think River's Edge is the one that's got Kevin Bacon in it, if I think I'm correct on that. I'm not quite sure. Blue Velvet, I'm not sure about that one. I don't remember that movie. I'll have to go back and look and see which one that is. If it's the movie I'm thinking about, I've seen it. Jersey Girl recommended a documentary. It's called Lipstick to Liquor. I have never seen that before. I know nothing about it. It sounds like it has something to do with alcoholism, I would imagine. But Jersey Girl said it's a very good documentary to watch. I'll have to find out where that's streaming at, but I'm sure you guys can just Google it and figure it out. But she said it's a very interesting documentary. Olive Oil 4380 recommended a Belgian film called Close. I have never seen that movie either. She said it is a great movie and a very sad one at that. And then she recommended a show called Chernobyl. I've never seen that one either, and she said it's on HBO or Max. And there were actually some other people that went into the comments when she recommended that and said they have seen it, and they said it was like one of their favorite shows they've ever seen. I'm guessing it has to do with Chernobyl, and I guess the nuclear plant, what happened there. I'm not exactly sure, but definitely go check those movies out. And then my movie recommendations for today, I wanted to recommend some movies on Prime. I've done all my movie recommendations on Netflix lately, but I wanted to do some Prime ones here. So the first one I want to recommend is called You Were Never Really Here, and that's with Joaquin Phoenix. That movie is it's a different kind of movie. You definitely need to use discretion watching that one. I wouldn't watch it with children, but it's definitely a very interesting film. I don't know if you would call it a horror, but it's definitely a thriller, and it's a little bit disturbing, but it does bring light into some things that are going on in this country right now. That's actually a really big problem, and I'm telling you, if you watch that movie, it's a really good one. The next one I have is called As Above, So Below, and that is a horror movie, and that's filmed in the catacombs in France. Very interesting movie. It's scary to a certain extent, but just the way that the movie plays out, it's one of those movies, I really like those movies that just kind of are just so different. You never seen one like it, and this is one of those movies. It's a horror flick. In the end of it, you're just like, what in the world is going on here? And then you figure it out. It is a very, very different movie, and I highly suggest that one. Next one I recommend is called Room 237, and that movie has to do with the movie The Shining. And if you know anything about Stanley Kubrick left a lot of Easter eggs in a lot of his films, and that movie has to do with Room 237 in The Shining and what the meaning might be behind that movie. And if you watch it, it's really an eye-opener. I'm not saying that that's exactly what the movie's about, but they really bring up some really good points, and the evidence is leaning towards they might be right. And I found it so interesting. Very interesting documentary. And then the next one I have is called Enter the Void, and that movie is on Tubi. Another one of those really, really strange movies. Basically, what's happens at the beginning, I'm just going to give you a quick little synopsis. It's filmed in Japan, but it's these are European people that are in the movie. They are Americans, and the lead character in the movie smokes DMT, which is a hallucinogen, and then it kind of just goes way off the deep end. It is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's directed by a guy named Gaspar Noé, and if you've ever seen any of his movies, they're just out there. And this is one of those movies that I would highly suggest. So definitely go check that one out. Like I said, that's on Tubi, and that's free. But for today's video, I didn't really take any notes for today's video because I've just been thinking about it. And what I wanted to talk about today is the thing is that, I see a lot of stuff in the comments of, people quitting alcohol or drugs or whatever it is, and, they want to stop doing everything that they're doing because they really want to, get back healthy and everything like that. And I just wanted to bring something up because it just really made me think about this. If you are, in fact, in the process of quitting alcohol, you just started, you just stopped, you just started your journey, I would, and this is just my opinion, so don't, and I'm just a normal guy, but from my experience, I would highly suggest that if you are just stopping drinking, that don't try to quit everything all at once. And I know how bad that you want to do so because you just want to get rid of everything bad out of your life. But stopping alcohol already is such a hard task in itself. It is already just so difficult to stop drinking. I just don't think it's a great idea to just all of a sudden change everything that you're doing. Changing your diet. If you smoke cigarettes, quitting smoking right away. Stopping drinking soda right away if that's something that you're using as a clutch while you stop drinking. Because I've tried doing it in the past myself, and I feel like every time that when that happens and we try just doing too much at once, we're just setting ourselves up to fail. Because, like I said, stopping alcohol or drugs or whatever your vice was, it's already so hard to separate yourself from that as it is. The thing is, when you're a drinker or you're using drugs or whatever, your day-to-day life is you associate with using. And if you try to stop using all of your vices all at once, you're going to drive yourself crazy. It's just too much to do at one time. I'm not saying to, like for instance, I know this is a big one, but a lot of drinkers smoke. And if you are a smoker and you just stop drinking, give yourself a break. I know smoking is not good for you. And neither is alcohol. But give yourself some time away from the booze before you try to stop smoking. Because if you try to do too much at once, you're just going to really overwhelm yourself. And when it gets to those moments where you get overwhelmed, you get in a really stressful situation or whatever it may be, those trigger moments, those are the times that you're going to reach for those things that you can use, like smoking a cigarette or drinking a soda or having a candy bar or whatever it is that you enjoy. And I know these things aren't good for us. I'm not saying they are. And I'm saying that there can be a time for you to stop those things as well. But I just wanted to reiterate the fact that I really think that trying to do too many things at one time is just a really bad idea. Stopping drinking, like I said, is so difficult. And I tried to quit drinking so many times. And I failed so many times because I tried everything. I tried to quit drinking and smoking at the same time. Well, that didn't last hardly at all because it's the moment I got stressed out, I wanted a cigarette and I wanted to have a drink. And, taking both of those things away from me at the same time just really created a problem. And I broke immediately and went right back to the bottle. I know a lot of times too, when you're a drinker, a lot of us resort to sugar in place of the alcohol. It's because your body is craving that sugar that you are getting from the alcohol. I'm not saying that those things are good for you by any means at all. But give yourself a break and don't worry so much about that right this second. You're not going to cause a ton of damage to your body that you haven't already created by continuing to smoke for a couple weeks or a month or whatever it may be. I just don't see that being a huge problem. If you've already smoked for 20 years, what's another month while you get off the alcohol first? Or what is, if you decide that drinking a Pepsi every day helps break the cravings for you, enjoy that Pepsi if that's what you like, or whatever it may be. I just don't think that trying to stop everything at once because you see the amount of damage that you could have caused yourself and how all these things that you're doing are so unhealthy and you really want to break free from them. And I totally understand that. But at the same time, I really think that you're just piling way too much on top, and it's all going to come tumbling down at any given moment. And I just really believe, and this is my personal belief, just give yourself a little bit of time and stop with the main thing that's causing problems in your life. And if it's alcohol or benzodiazepines or whatever it may be for you, get away from that thing first. Give yourself some time to get used to it, that you don't take it anymore and you're not bringing that into your life anymore. It takes time to adjust back to being sober. It's not easy to do so. You don't get intoxicated from eating a candy bar or drinking a soda or smoking a cigarette. It just doesn't happen. Or smoking a pipe or a cigar or whatever it is that you do, or taking a dip. That doesn't intoxicate you, but drugs and alcohol do. And getting away from being intoxicated is already tough in itself. Our minds are so used, our brain is so used to getting that substance in us that, it's like there's a crazy party going on in your head the whole time when you're trying to stop, and your thoughts are all over the place, your emotions are all over the place. You're dealing with physical withdrawals as it is. You're having crazy dreams at night. You're waking up to night sweats and all this other stuff. Give yourself a break and don't try to do everything at one time. Get off of what you're on right now and then move on to developing better habits and start putting those things in place so that, you can start to live a little bit healthier of a life. But my whole point of the video today is just give yourself a break. It's not going to hurt anything just for a little bit, just to get yourself normalized to being away from your vice, and then you can move on to developing better habits down the road. I'm not trying to say that any of these things are good and okay to do, because they're not. But I am saying that getting away from drugs or alcohol is not easy. I know it firsthand, and I know a lot of you out there have tried multiple times to stop. You know how hard it is. So don't beat yourself up. You're already, if you've quit and you're a week in, 2 weeks in, a month in, whatever it is right now, you've already achieved so much with where you're at this moment. You want to keep that going, and stopping everything at one time, it's just going to create a problem. And that's just my opinion. And you're free to do whatever you like. But that's just, I just wanted to give that little thing out there for today, just to give you a little bit of hope. And don't beat yourself up and make yourself feel bad because you haven't quit smoking yet, or you're substituting candy for the alcohol that you drink. I've known so many people that were drinkers and then they started drinking soda or whatever after the fact. And, you know, they did that for some time and then they got away from it. You know, there's nothing wrong with that just for a little bit, so that you can, you know, ease yourself out of the addictive substance that you are on, and then work on it later. But anyway, guys, that's it for today. I wanted to make today's video rather short. Yesterday's video went on forever. I know it was like almost 50 minutes long. That video just didn't get a lot of traction as of yet. I'm gonna try my best not to do the videos as long as they were. I just threw so much stuff into that video that when I went to edit it and I was looking at what I could delete, there just wasn't a whole lot that I could take out of it. There was just so much useful information in there. So once again, I apologize the video was so long. If you didn't watch it because it was so long, I understand. I put a lot of work into that video yesterday. I was completely wore out after I did that video. I fell asleep really early last night. When I do those cooking videos, I mean, they really take it out of me. And I really don't want to do them as long as I did. Next week, I'm not exactly sure what the food's going to be that I'm going to do, but I'm going to try to do something a little bit easier that doesn't take so long. And I really would like the video to be a little bit shorter, because I know everybody just doesn't have the time to sit down and watch a 40-minute video. So anyway, I'm sorry that this video is getting up so late today. I really apologize about that. I've been putting the videos up the past few days really late, and I really needed to get back to getting them up earlier. I've just had so much going on over the past week, but I promise you guys that I will get back to getting those videos up a little bit earlier in the day, especially over the next few days. So the videos that'll be coming up are going to be up earlier than they have been over the past few. So be on the lookout for tomorrow. Like I said, that's the interview with my mom. I'm probably going to break that up into like 3 different shows so that they're not so long. So probably like 3 30-minute sections. Then I've got the interview with Sammy, and that one I will play that video after I've shown all the videos of my mom. And then, like I said, I've got the interview with David coming up on Monday, and we'll see how that all works out, how those videos get posted up. But they are coming, so be on the lookout for all those. They should be rather interesting. But with that said, guys, I really appreciate everybody so much. Thank you so much for all the kind comments. Thank you so much, guys, for being kind to each other. That is like the most important thing to me with this channel, is everybody supporting one another and just being kind. I mean, we're only on this planet but for so long, and it's really not long at all. And the one thing that we can do for each other is just to be nice to each other, and that's all I want, is just everybody to be kind and be supportive. And you guys have done such a great job at that, and I appreciate it so much. So with that said, thank you, guys. I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I love you all so much. And until tomorrow's video, that's going to be the one with my mom. I hope you guys are excited about it, because I know I am. And I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye-bye.